It's like, you feel that? Whew. It wasn't like that at the beginning. It's been stirred up. It's all the crud that's been trapped here, and now he's abusing this as a result. But that's the...
I have, my whole right side is messed up. Starting from my SI joint on the right side. When I play soccer, every time I shoot the ball, like I kick the ball, I'll feel like a pain like right in here.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's been going on for more than 2 years. I've seen everything.
Okay.
PRP shots, nerve blocks, chiropractors, physical therapy, done it all.
What are they saying is the cause of that pain?
They don't know.
Okay.
Nobody has been able to tell me anything pretty much. MRI doesn't show anything.
Correct. Well, keep going, yeah.
The last doctor that I seen, he told me that I have arthritis.
Okay, we're getting closer.
But the images didn't say that. I mean, the report, I guess. And also, my neck hurts.
Okay.
Whole right side. I have a slap tear, my shoulder.
Okay.
And I have tennis elbow.
Okay.
Over here.
Are you feeling any pain in your shoulder joint right now? Any pain right there?
Yeah, so now after I was getting this therapy with these chiropractors, so now I kind of feel like something like here, like under, like my trap gets tight all the time.
Okay. Nobody said rotator cuff. Nobody's.
They do say rotator cuff, but
we'll check it out.
I don't know.
But you're pointing to more of the AC joint there on the front.
Yeah, I feel when I go like kind of like that. I do feel it like here.
The joint between
like here, yeah.
There's a joint between the clavicle and your scapula called the AC joint, and that's what you're jamming when you. We'll work on it. A lot of what I do is try to open up the front. Our lives are so filled with, you understand, being forward, and that's what keeps all that area kind of under stress. I can fix the elbow. That's just it. These are attachment pains. So is it around that spot there?
Most of the tightness is like here.
So just the muscle. How about this is okay?
Yeah.
Not too bad?
I feel it like here.
On the medial.
Yeah. If you can see, my right forearm is bigger than my left one.
But that doesn't.
That one hurts.
Sore. Okay.
Yeah.
So medial epicondylitis, and then we'll work on the muscles. The muscle tension keeps a constant pull on the attachments. The attachments have to be worked on. They won't self-resolve. We have to compress those down, and that's not too hard to fix. We'll work on that in a second. Is it both arms or just mainly the right arm?
Just right side.
Okay.
Whole right side. But most of my concern is my back right here. Sometimes it goes a little bit to the side.
Yeah, you're pointing to the L5 facet. It's the joint. The joint capsule is what gives you all that pain. It's the actual knuckle where the vertebrae connect together. It's this last guy here, where the sacrum connects to the fifth lumbar vertebrae. This joint will give you pain in this region. This whole area will give you pain around the joint, but it's the joint capsule. Now, our imaging technology is not 4K. We're still living in a VHS world. You understand? We don't have this HD imaging, and so you're exactly right. The image doesn't show anything, but that doesn't mean there's not something there. We just don't have the technology to see it. We can see large injuries. Kind of astounding to me that they took an MRI at the end of 21, and then like 4 or 5 months later they took a CAT scan. It's like we're going backwards. They took the best image, do you understand, in December, and that wasn't enough, so then they decided to take a CAT scan, which completely bewilders me. It actually shows less. It's actually wrong compared to the MRI, showed more. And then your CAT scan, which is a worse image, you understand?
Yeah.
Actually was wrong because the MRI would take a precedence over it. You understand? If the MRI shows something and the CAT scan shows something different, you take the MRI.
I think he wanted to see the CAT scan because he thought I had, what did he say? I don't remember. Something about he even took like blood work. I don't know what he wanted to see, but.
Well, I'm just saying the report, the only thing they're talking about in the report differs from the MRI, and I looked at the CAT scan, and you don't see, to me, what they're saying. You can see on the, not that it matters anyway, I'm just telling you that it's kind of redundant, you understand, to go backwards. We went and took the MRI, which actually can show you the discs. I'll show you the picture of what we can see. But more simply, it's the joint. You're inflaming the joint. This disc at L5 is also injured. You're 30 and this disc looks 55. You understand? Part of your spine is older than you are. Every other disc looks about 18. You have a very young rest of your spine, and one disc is probably 55, 60 years old. Now, because this disc is aged at a faster rate, it also means that the joint has aged at a faster rate. They're both connected. You understand? So if we're wearing out the disc, we're also wearing out the joint. To fix you, it's pretty simple. We got to get the middle back moving better. This must be immobilized to allow you to be overstressing your lower back. So we got to get your middle back working. And then there's a curve that your back is supposed to have called a lordosis, and the loss of this curve, like a ladder, all the weight gets transferred right to the bottom, right? So the alignment of your spine determines where all the stresses go. And so the loss of curve continually puts stress on this area, and then the stiffness of your middle back ensures that when you're bending or when you're playing soccer and you're trying to kick something, all the movement's happening here, right? All the torque is being harnessed in one location, and your whole spine isn't working as a team. This is a side shot of so if I'm looking at your spine, it's like I'm looking at it from the side.
Okay.
And these are the discs. The discs are water.
So when it's white is good, right? Yeah.
White is good, yeah. Look
so
how
that one is
see, that's about
super short.
Right. That's your problem. These discs do not regenerate, and it's starting to actually dry out. See that little dark spot? I mean, this is the best picture. This is the best imaging quality technology we have, and this is the best we can see. But see how it's getting darker there? That's called desiccation. The disc nucleus is starting to dry up. And over time, like a piece of bacon, it gets thinner and thinner and darker and darker. It's going to lose its white core. These are little stress injuries you can kind of see. These little white spots here on the bone, that little white line right there. Mm-hmm. These are compression. You've had compression injuries where the vertebrae, they got, let's say busted a little bit. And there's actually still some remnant fluid, inflammation, let's call it, you understand, still in the bone, which tells me that you've been hard on your back. You understand? These are like stress fractures or compression. Eventually this could actually cause a compression fracture where the whole vertebrae collapses. That makes sense? And it's just showing you that you've been hard on your spine. Do you feel any symptoms down your legs, down your right leg? Okay, that's good. But the
first time that I felt this on the SI joint, my hamstring got really tight, but then it went away.
You hit this nerve, and then this nerve tasered the muscles. Now, it retracted a little bit, the nerve calmed down, the muscle contraction stopped. But if we don't get a hold of this becomes the more expensive problem. Why everybody has back surgery by 50. Tiger Woods in his 40s had 6 surgeries, you understand, because of disc injury, like I'm showing you on the MRI. That L5 disc is what is 75% of back surgery encompasses that disc. And our world isn't guiding us on how to prevent it, which I'm going to talk about today. We're going to help you. We got to get this middle back moving and get the curve back in your spine so that not all the stress is happening in one spot. The other discs in your spine, the other discs look brand new. You understand? These have not aged since you were 18. They're not working. They're not being chewed on like teeth that that aren't being chewed on. We don't wear out the enamel on the parts that don't work. The football players that spend their whole season on the bench don't get concussion. Right? The vertebrae that don't work don't get injured. Most of the stress is happening at that one disc. The joint is back here. We can't see. It's all blurry. You understand? But the joint would be back in here. You understand? Mm-hmm. And so that's what you're feeling. You can't feel the disc. You can feel these wires. That'll be down the leg, right? And the joint will give you that local pain, kind of around. It hurts here, Ed. That's the joint. There has to be an opposite stiff area to make this area be abused, right? And everybody's so focused on the injured area. I ask the opposite question. I ask, why are all the other vertebrae not injured? Instead of asking the question, why is that injured at L5, I ask, why are these not injured? And if you can answer that, you can understand why that area is injured. Left shoulder's a little high. Left hip is high. So the left side is going to be tighter. It's going to be more elevated. And because of that, the work is being thrown to the right side. So now when I'm exaggerating, now when you're playing soccer, this side's under more stress all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Makes sense? And that's why it's injured. It's like this part of your back is being used at 60%, the left side's being used at 40%. So every activity you do is already putting more stress on the right. The question I have is, what's so bad on the left side that you're avoiding it? This is where usually injuries when we're young, teenage years, childhood injuries, that, let's say things that you've forgotten have happened on the left that now have thrown the work over to the right. The left side doesn't hurt anymore because it's being avoided. No, it's my right shoulder, it's my right lower back, this is the problem. And I go, no, the problem's over here in why are you not utilizing the left as much as you're using the right. Cross your arms. Bend both the knees. There we go. Take a deep breath in, little sit up. Head back. Let it go. Exhale. Deep breath in. I got you, buddy. Head back. Exhale. Let it all go. Deep breath in. I got you. Exhale.
That was different.
A little different, huh?
I never heard that many, like small like pops, you know.
Get the idea, right? This is restricted, and you're abusing this, and nobody's getting up here and loosening that area properly.
They tried, but no, like I hear these small like pops.
Right. We scoot down on your sides and exhale. So nobody, and my point is on the side, nobody puts their hand here. Nobody should be adjusting your lower back. This is where all the sore injury comes from. Doesn't benefit. We're just trying to loosen the guy below and above a little bit. Exhale. Yeah, it's too loose. Let's go on your back. Let's go on your back for you. There, on your back. You shouldn't even be side postured. You're so stiff in your middle back and in your hips that when I twist you, all the bending was trying to happen right at the injured area. Have they done that adjustment on your side
They've
before?
done that adjustment like all the time.
I think it's a bad adjustment for you. Because you're so loose, when you were twisting, all the twisting was happening there. I had no mobility. Now, it is a good adjustment to loosen the SI joint, but if this joint is so stiff, when I'm trying to rotate you, all the bending was happening here, then you're just further tearing. Does that make sense? The area that's already moving too much. This is tight up here, this was tight down here, and then all the bending was happening, all the folding was happening at the bottom. Is it right? Yeah. Watch. When I tilt my head to the left, the bones stick out on the right. This is part of why I was seeing, do you see how this is why you're leaning to the right?
Yep.
Can you see that now? See, I'm exaggerating, but you're going to grind this because your head is tilted left. In order to not walk around dizzy, your body's dropped. Your right shoulder, left shoulder came up. Now we're in left avoidance, right abuse. So it actually can solely be an injury to the right side of your neck that creates a head tilt, that creates a domino effect down to your lower back. Easy, easy. Just for reference, notice when I adjusted you, I'm not going to adjust you, but my point is my hand was up here at the top, right? My hand was up here right off the occiput. No chiropractor should have their hand in your lower neck. You understand? Pushing into the lower neck. The lower neck and your shoulder are the same thing. The nerves that control and nourish and heal your shoulder come from the lower neck. So when the lower neck is upset, the shoulder will atrophy, become weaker, or any injuries in the shoulder won't heal properly. So they're both connected in a sense neurologically. We want to not put stress on people's lower necks. Chin up a little bit. There you go. Your head doesn't like to come over to the right. Lifting your shoulder and tilting your head are the same things. So tilting your head left and lifting your left shoulder are biomechanically the same thing. So when you lay on your left side, your left shoulder elevates. And that's the same as tilting your head left, which feeds this. It feeds this misalignment.
Oh, just letting you know, once you get to my trap or my upper back, I have this weird like twitch.
Okay.
You'll notice it.
Okay. This is not a minor misalignment here. Wow. Come on. Yeah, we got it. Wow. So there's a neck deneral that we'll show you in a minute. It's designed as a retainer and a stretching device that you can use at home, and its purpose is to emulate my thumb and allow you to stretch and mold the neck into the correct position at home at the end of the day. If your neck is not loosened up, then the function and benefit of the stretch is limited. So it's meant to be used in concert with being adjusted. You want to loosen the spine and then mold it on the stretch. You know, the curve, lordosis. Have you heard the word lordosis before?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then nobody's really getting to the root cause, because the lordosis, the loss of curve in your neck and lumbar, we always hear of lumbar supports, cervical supports. What are we supporting? The lordosis. It can only be ultimately fixed through stretching. The adjustment and the massage is a tool to make it limber so that stretching can fix it. So just massaging it or even just adjusting it in and of itself will not work. It will never go away. This has to be partly done by you not laying on your left side, not feeding it, and then also undoing it through some good stretching. The stretching won't work if your neck is a 2x4, if your neck is all stiff. So we have to make the spine supple so that the stretching actually undoes it. Let me see if I can relax this left side. Wow. I don't think anybody's moved it like that before.
Yeah, well, you can only get like one crack out of it, what, not two?
Yeah. There we go. Now the knots, see how the knots feels a lot smaller?
Yeah.
I know. This is a whole level of pain that you... I shouldn't have said anything. I don't go that far. So the attachment has to be mashed. You have to try to compress this guy. It's I know it's hard to self-compress. This is where, but you want to hold pressure from the forearm up into the elbow. So it's coming kind of from this direction up onto the epicondyle here, and you have to compress that down. It won't self-resolve. This has to be worked on for it to get better. I wouldn't do any transfriction over this, no massaging over this spot. This is just compression.
Just like that? Like
Straight compression. No rubbing.
Okay.
I don't want to tear this off. You're just trying to compress the layers of the tendon back onto the bone, like Panera bread and paniniing and mashing. Right, you ever panini? You're doing a panini press. Do you understand?
Oh, panini press, okay.
You're trying to press the bone back onto itself.
Oh, so because it feels like you're pressing the bone.
Correct.
I was gonna say that.
The tendon dives into the bone, and we're trying to compress the tendon back onto the bone, like a tent peg. Right? If you have a tent peg, you want to drive the tent peg into the direction that it's being lifted out of, right? Which is this direction. We don't want to rub the tent peg. Then we're just going to rip up the ground and rip up the tent peg, right? We're just trying to press the tent peg back into the ground so that it has a good root. The muscle tension here will keep a constant pull on the rope, the tendon that attaches onto that attachment, the epicondyle of the bone. So if you want to rub anything, you would rub the muscle here towards the elbow.
Okay.
So you can rub the muscle belly here, and here. You can rub that towards the towards the attachment. I wouldn't do any gua sha on the attachment.
Okay.
Just here, towards the elbow.
What is it?
So when I look at your back, the left side is more elevated. This is where you're in left avoidance, right abuse. The problem is actually right here. This is why I get paid the big bucks. Because I'm going to show you where to work on. When you're at home, it's right here. This is the problem. On your left middle, the right's just compensating. The right's just the effect of having this jammed up right here. I know, I feel it. Why? I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Nobody showed you this, I guess, I'm sure, right? No. Nobody showed you that. Yeah. It's very obvious. Right there. This is why on your lumbar MRI you have young vertebrae up here. They don't work. I'm putting my elbow on them and I'm asking them to bend and they don't function. Mechanically, this part of your back is frozen and then you're leaving all the function to happen at the bottom. If this area liked to function, it wouldn't mind me touching it, right?
Yeah.
If these joints were accustomed to bending, they wouldn't be screaming at you right now. They're frozen, they've been frozen, and the unlocking of these areas and then teaching you how to keep these areas unlocked is your care. That knot right there is something else, but okay. I can imagine everybody's been focusing down here, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's been trying to do something to his lower back, and they've missed that the rest of his spine doesn't work. Right here, totally jammed up. And so the lower back is just responding to being told to do all the work. Right there, yeah. Okay, take a break. Take a break. Right there. Oh, come on. Relax your shoulders. I know it's tough. This is where we're going to be focusing on our stretch later. We're going to put a piece of foam, and the apex of it will be right here. That will be your goal in the next month, is to be able to hold pressure here and it not be the end of the world. Rub the right side. There's a little knot here. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's half the size of the left. This side actually functions. And there's some here, but it's not as big as the left. See, the abused side doesn't mind me moving it. It already moves, right?
Yeah.
The side that's abused and already injured from too much motion isn't upset too much when I ask it to move because it's already been moving. It's only the restricted side that really hates me to ask it to move. It's been frozen, and that is the problem. I mean, there's some, but you can't. I'm not gonna. I can make you scream on this side.
Yeah, you can.
No, thank you. This side, I'm sure it doesn't feel great, but the left is worse. There's some right there. There's definitely some restriction. Here, it's about half the size of the left. You feel all that, right? I mean, this is all. Whew, whew. Yeah, injury right here. Probably when you were a teenager, yeah, maybe younger. It's like, you feel that? Whew. I don't know if I've ever felt like something like that. That big a difference just from. You feel the difference, right? Smooth.
Oh, yeah.
See? Smooth.
And then the other side?
Look at all that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that thing. How could they miss this? How could you miss this? Terrible. See? It's totally smooth. That's remarkable, the difference, and you actually can feel this just came out from my elbow, but
Is it more fluidy than it was?
no, it's hard. It's like an old hard scar. It wasn't like that at the beginning. It's been stirred up.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the crud that's been trapped here, and now he's abusing this as a result. But that's the.
How does the gua sha feel?
Doesn't feel bad.
Mhm, mhm.
Feel worse on my chest, that's for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, just like your left middle back is locked, this left hip is locked. This is a percentage of why the right lower back is injured. Yeah, I like when you rub my right hip. Feels good over here, Ed. That left hip, no thank you. See, this side already works. This side's already moving. See, there's no lump. Right there is where the blockage is. So you almost have to lie to your doctors. What brings you in today? My left middle back feels tight and my left hip feels tight. Don't tell them about this. Because if you tell people about that, they can't help themselves. They want to work on it. It's like rubbing a cut on your skin. You're just ripping the cut open more. Leave the cut alone. I got you. Now you can really see it. You see there, man? That is a gnarly scar. Something happened.
Is it painful?
It is a little.
Sorry, bud.
It's alright. I can handle pain.
I could cope with torture.
I mean, you can, I'm just gonna, you can see it over here. Go down.
See how the skin looks like?
Mm-hmm.
It's all different. That's all feels An old scar, I think it's about right like that.
Yeah, it looks different on the
Yes.
other one. Well, I broke my right toe.
Okay,
Yeah.
easy, easy. This one, the big one?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Like a year ago.
Okay, all right.
Should be healed now, but.
I'll take it easy on it. Otherwise, it'd be a title of my video. Dr. Ed broke my toe again. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. 1 second. Go ahead and tilt your head left for me. Tilt left. So you're just going to take your head and then sort of just tilt your
tilt
left.
the-
Yeah, it's okay. 1 second. Okay. Go ahead and tilt head left for me. Uh-huh. There we go.
Same tilt.
Same thing, tilt left. Okay, good. Okay. Go ahead and tilt to the right now. Go ahead and tilt to the right, tilt right. Nothing else. Okay. Right over here in front. Have you ready?
Yes.
Yep. Move your feet left first. Move your feet left. Or yeah. So you just there you go. What you can move. You can pick up and move your feet to make it easier. So, there you go. Now you move knees right. Now knees right. Yep. Now you go knees right. This way. There you go. Now you go knees right. Does that make sense? Stretch the left side.
Yep.
Yeah. Now knees back up. Now move feet right. Now go knees left. There you go. Breathe. Yeah. This side's gonna be harder because you're compressing that left side now. And knees back up. Stay in the middle for a little bit, and then put the feet back in the middle. Let's take a break.
Okay.
I could put it nicer. That knot in your middle back is atrocious. I am appalled that nobody has seen something so large. That is probably the largest injury I've seen in someone's middle back in a long time. It is a dramatic injury on your left middle back. Do you see how this is placed right over it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. This device emulates my elbow, and we use this now to stretch and put pressure and hold pressure on that spot. Now you might feel like you're crooked on it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You might feel like you're lopsided because your left side is so much more elevated that it might feel like you're, falling off to the right side when in fact your back needs to level out. And as you do this more, your back will level and get easier. Do you have a foam roller? Have you ever tried laying on a foam roller?
I do have foam roller, yeah.
And have you done that on your back?
The one that you put like in your spine, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
starting from top. Well, this is obviously a lot different. The pressure is more pinpoint.
Yeah.
The roller's contact is more broad. This is what you're going to start with at home. To make this is a good size for you. To make it larger, you can put some books underneath it if you need to make it larger. But this is the size that I want you starting with.
Okay.
And you have to master 20 minutes, and it'd be a joke.
20 minutes?
Easier said than done. That it takes time to stretch your spine. Now, to get to 20 minutes, it's crucial that we try to stay on it for 20 minutes, in that if you can't handle it, you put something behind your head or you limit the depth so you can get to 20 minutes first.
Okay.
20 minutes is a real number for how long it takes to change your posture. So if we don't get to 20 minutes, we're not going to see a lasting change. If you did 10-minute stretches, you're not going to see a permanent change. You got to get to 20 minutes. You see about between 15 and 20 minutes a strong urge to get off this, and that's when the ligaments are finally lengthening and your posture is changing.